Yo, guys. So I was asked to talk about Erica and who are the changes. Is she worth it? Is she not worth it? So, for those of you who don't know, she got changed last patch, and her position got changed from the side to center mid. So, the question was mainly can she be used as center mid? And, of course, is she even viable in the back line? So, let's go down and look at her skills. Again, she is technique based, and second set is vitality. So, that's pretty good for center mid and backline position, and especially technique higher than vitality is good for everything except goalkeeper. So power up. Decrease incoming damage by 20%, recover 50% of the damage received from a player collision or incoming shot for 10 minutes. Can revive if the player becomes unable to move because of incoming damage. So I tried to test it. It's very hard to test because of protection of heart. So if I use it in high level, she'll die. And if I use it in low level, it's very hard to tell. But from what I've understood from it, you get 20% DR and you get a buff that makes that, for example, if you take 100 damage, before taking the 100 damage, you're going to recover 20% of your life, and after, you're going to recover 50% of the damage you took, giving her one hell of a level of survival as long as she's got enough life and DR to survive the shot in the first place. So this is why you should build her really tanky if you want to try run this. It doesn't seem that bad. And again, for some people who try a runner as a goalkeeper until they get a better goalkeeper, or for certain COT matches where you're pretty much forced to runner, it makes it pretty decent. Just make her tanky enough to at least take 2 free shots though. Increase the max life of Ardor players inside the team by 20%. I mean, that just explains itself. Plus, it means it buffs her too. Protection of heart. Recover 20% of life when attack. Recover first. The recover first is very important because if it's after, it's pretty bad because it would be stacking with this. Um, pretty decent standard 20%. If it was line, it would be kind of good. Starlight Illusion, increase critical resistance 40%, reflex 30%, and increase decoming damage by 30%. Now, this is pretty much where the problem starts happening. Except for her max life thing, she has no line buffs. So, in my opinion, this is her major flaw since putting her in center mid position, as much as she's gonna be tanky, it's gonna cause problems on the side. Unless you're running some full counter attack thing, especially since Ardor has already Choi and Shu. If you were to run in midline something like a Shu, Erika, Choi, it could work. But if you're going for the reflex meta, you would more want a Victoria, and then Victoria herself needs to be reflexed by other people. So then it would kind of all break down. So that's kind of her major issue. If we're looking at it on a chain wise, they're really bad. Just the only good one is Victoria. Everything else, the chances of you finding them are extremely low. Lindell got a nice buff, her too. In her case, it makes her much more viable. So there are chances this might start activating again. But again, you're not really supposed to be running these two. You're supposed to be running Metatron, Celestia, Felix, the Legends, or Sammy and Lin Mei, the non-legends who are pretty much doing the same thing except not on a team level. So center mid, it's gonna be the issue that she doesn't buff the reflex of the line. You want to make her as tanky as possible. Victoria would be pretty good on the tankiness just because she increases the max life. To make this good, she already comes with 30% DR. You want to try increase the DR, and you can also, if you want, try to go for critical resistance. That's more if you're going Rainbow though. Um, so if we're looking at this on a build point of view, um, I would say pretty much going to the stones. We could run the light unique. Here, does the good old the Urmulation would be a good idea. You don't want to increase the amount of healing because she's already going to be healing too much. So running El Rapayon is going to be counterproductive because she's healing 20% of max life here and she's healing half her damage received. So overall, she's going to be healing a lot. You just want her to survive the initial hit. So having something that increases the max life like Urmulation is going to be much more powerful. In the Ardor Stones, I don't really think there's anything who's pretty good for her. In the worst case scenario, you can always throw a Mark of the Bond that does increase her max life pretty decently, and it's going to make her be part of a co-op. But the thing is, her being part of a co-op doesn't actually buff her since she has no effect for the team, no effect for the line again. It just doesn't bring anything to the table. You can put dense magma, penetration resistant, critical resistance. Again, we're in a penetration meta, could be valuable, but she doesn't have that much DR, so you need to be really working on those subs. You could give her, of course, two reflex stones, or one on the side, one in the center mid. Put one of the either the Ardor or the Light Unique, and whatever one that you're not putting, put a DR stone. It's pretty much how you would build her for center mid. For the back line, you're going to put the two reflex stones. There, you're going to try and make her a little bit faster, though. So, because in backline it doesn't matter if she survives as much. So you would actually be switching unique wise. You go more for stuff that has a relation to speed. In light, Metatron's will can be pretty good. Also, it will give her a chance to crit and might make her much faster. You could go in Ardor towards Blazing Essence, Endless Burning Matter, Terradox Blood. All of those are pretty good, but I would more advise Blazing Essence and Endless Burning Matter as the top two for this part. And that's pretty much the same for both sides. And the build for goalkeeper is, well, obviously every survival stone you can stick on it. And in that case, yes, running El Rapayon starts becoming viable. I would still, though, advise Ermilation because if she pulls off her active, El Rapayon doesn't make any sense. You need the maximum lives possible. And you would put a DR stone, a defense stone, and in the center slot, you would be putting a dark life stone. So I hope this gives you guys an idea about Erika. Again, if she had some form of buffing the line, it would be much more valuable, but she's just entirely selfish except for a global totem for Ardor. It's not bad, but the thing is, it doesn't justify throwing her in center mid, and even as a backliner, it can be justifiable, but it just does feel weak because she has no offensive capabilities. Yeah, I'm getting tired, guys. Anyway, I'm also going to be doing some COT videos later that were requested, but I hope this at least answers the question about Erika. And again, if you have any more, just put it down in the comments below. Have a good day, guys.